Kanywaso Wade is my name. I represent the people of Songora County North in the Kasese district. You did hear that?
Yes, sorry, sir.
I represent the people of Songora County in Kasese district. And I am a member of this committee. I want to ask you that we will do more of evidence than talking. Time for talking was when you had the Auditor General. You would explain many things. But at this time, we want us to move a step forward, and we should dwell more on evidence. It should be more evidence than just talking. And I can assure you that if you produce evidence in the next 20 minutes, we will be done. So we want to start our interaction with looking at the performance of local revenue. You budgeted for 5.3 billion. You only collected 5.0. We are asking ourselves why you are not able to hit the target. So I want you briefly to explain to us why it was not possible for you to hit the target, but also tell us the strategies that you have put in place to ensure that you enhance local revenue.
And honorable members of Parliament, from Parliamentary PAC, and the parliamentary staff, colleagues, the Auditor General, members of the Auditor General's office. With your permission, Chairman, I want to introduce myself, sir, before I submit. I think it's proper. My name's David Chasanku, the City Town Clerk of Arua. And sir, with your permission, I traveled with my entire team because we work as a team. And therefore, with your permission, I want to everybody hear the sound by introducing themselves. I will start with you, my City Education Officer.
Raimo, City Education Officer.
Good afternoon. I'm Engineer Charles Omona, the City Engineer.
Yes.
My name is Rico Benjamin Sam. I'm the Head of Finance.
Thank you, Town Clerk. My name is Mercy Ambiko, Senior Human Resource Officer.
Thank you. My name is Aiko Zobel, Senior Commercial Officer.
Thank you. My name is Musa Romo, Statistician.
Good afternoon. My name is Consolate Olemaru, Senior Communication Officer, City.
Good afternoon. My name is Alta Akram,
Good afternoon. I'm Asad Fred, Principal Environment Officer.
The protocol remains observed. I'm called Omale Jimmy, the Senior Procurement Officer.
Protocol observed. I am Odaku John, Senior IT Officer.
Thank you. George Ayo Kumar, National Officer.
Thank you. Dr. Pontius, City Health Officer.
Thank you. Fred Wato, Senior Tourism Officer.
Yes. Dr. Luke Taban, Senior Veterinary Officer. I'm William Marcel, Senior.
Sir, that is the team I've traveled soon joining, and our focal person for some environmental issues.
As you're going to answer, I don't know whether the Senior Commercial Officer is compatible, because I can see it's the same.
Yes.
If we would wish to take it in, please.
Thank you, sir. We all agreed in principle that we are ready. He has by bad grace, he got a small accident on the bike, and his hand got a small problem. But he's a very able person, sir. He can wait and listen on. He can whisper to me when things are difficult. I will allow him, sir, to go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. The question posed to me, sir, was we are budgeted for 5.3 billion. During the year, we collected 4.4 billion, thereby having a variance of 900 million. Sir, we did the best we could to collect that money, why we didn't hit our target is because of certain reasons. Sir, one, many of our very good customers were relieving from COVID, which was now just a year or two. And you see, as city managers, you appreciate some of these shops which are happening and gone down. Some of the businesses, we are just waking up, so we could not hit our target properly. But otherwise, sir, as you can see, it is almost 90%. You see, we really tried, sir, given the circumstances of the financial year 22-23, and giving that background. But going forward, sir, you asked me what are you going to do as going forward. Sir, we have streamlined our IRAS system. IRAS is an integrated revenue management collection system. We have eliminated all cash handling in the city of Arua. We have removed any money going into the hands. All now our customers can pay off there in case you are in your room, in your office, at home, you can pay. That is how we are seeing a trend going forward for this year. We are even much better than last year. We have collected actually 900 million. Using this more than this, we have intensified on sensitization of our taxpayers. We are continuing to train them how to use, because now that many Ugandans have phones, we have intensified on training them how to use to pay off, so that there is no intervention between them and anybody. Money goes straight to our system, to URA. We are continuing to have meetings with the business community to engage them, to appreciate paying of taxes. That one has happened, sir. And we are hopeful, Mr. Chairman, members of Parliament, for Parliamentary Committee. Arua, when we are listed the other day, sir, I think we are number 4 in the country. When the IRAS system was listed, we are number 4. After Mbarara, it's only city which we are trying to say we are going to make sure we beat them. But sir, we are in a good position. All these people are all aligned to make sure we collect all the money, since we removed the human face and everybody is paying through an interface. We are going to do better, sir. Thank
you. You've just mentioned that we're having sensitization meetings,
yes, sir,
with the community.
Yes, sir.
Can I have proof that those meetings took place?
Yes, we have. We can recite. Some on radio, we do engagements. The radio talk shows are quite very many, but they need evidence, sir. If we can have, if we didn't carry, sir, it is true happening. With your permission, I will certainly bring it. But we are doing it, sir. There is no way you can collect this money. Attendance. But honorable, attendances, but honorable, we can assure you, we are up there, sir. We are really doing our best. Yes, Arua is turning around revenue, and everybody is proud of us. The other day, Local Government Finance Commission mentioned us among the best. And those evidences that can be brought when you tell me appropriately, I can bring them next week.
One day or?
No, it's a continuous process.
No, I'm saying the evidence.
Whenever I have a chance as a town clerk, I talk about it. Any meeting, I'm the first to talk about revenue. I'm talking about revenue because now that's the lifeline we have. It's a continuous process every month. Every day we have an opportunity. So gathering all this evidence, some is verbal, some is out, but we are doing it, sir.
Yeah, clerk, we know you are doing it, but you see, we are not angels.
Yes.
We can only believe only if we have gotten proof.
But sir, one of the evidence, if I can tell you, is to show you the market of Arua. The only market which has collected almost 1 billion shillings. And sir, I can submit this.
Go to the wage.
Yes, sir.
Wage budget.
The wage budget, yes.
I may not touch each and every issue in the report. I'm just going to sample a few. The few that we are going to sample are going to give us a picture of what is happening in the city.
Yes, sir.
So I want us to go to wage,
yes,
and specifically I want to look at the issue of validation.
Yes.
The validation exercise. I want to ask that the human resource person should be next to you.
Yes, sir.
To support you in this.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now, during the validation exercise, it had 2,305 people.
Yes, sir.
Those are employees.
Yes, sir.
That were on the IPPS payroll.
Yes, sir.
Of which 1,296 were fully verified. 727, which is a big number, 32%, were partially verified. 282 did not show up.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to go step by step. Tell us the status of those that were partially verified. Have they been verified now?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable. Yes, a lot has been done, sir. This number has tremendously come down, but I will invite, as you just suggested, sir, to invite my senior HRO to come and submit on some of this disaggregated data. Madam Masen.
Thank you, Town Clerk. All the partially verified employees were verified in the month of April this year. The report is attached.
What are the contents of the report? They are verification slips.
We couldn't put all the verification slips, but we have the attendance list of all the employees who turned up for the validation.
The report is annex number
1.6.
1.6, sir, on those flips. 1.6. Akram, come forward. Mr. Akram, come and submit. Go and show them. With your permission, Chairman, I've identified him as a person who can come to show you evidence for ease of reference. With your permission, he's coming. Thank you. Mr. Akram, please move forward and show honorable members, the chairperson, the report.
I mean, Assistant Clerk.
Yes, sir.
As I wait for my colleagues to give comments.
Yes, sir.
It is good that you have a report.
Yes, sir.
But the report is not sufficient enough. It is possible that someone sat and imagined that people were verified and came up with the report. I can also sit and say, I think these people were verified. I come up with the report. I want us to go beyond the report. Verification slips.
So this is what we did, Honorable, the chairperson. Because Arua is a bit far from Kampala, and having realized that when our people went to the archives and our center, you remember the center, sir, where everybody was meeting, we had, you can see the numbers and how many buses I would take to take people to Kampala. I requested the PS Public Service to allow a few commissioners to come here. And
Let's
sir,
start there.
yes,
With the letter.
yes, sir.
The one that you wrote.
Yes. Now, it was an engagement. It was an engagement, sir. Because when I went personally to see what happened, many people are seated outside. It was really very, very unsightly because of the numbers. I engaged because, sir, sometimes we use the people we know, having been in service for some time. I met the commissioners and they said, no, for Arua, we understand. The journey is impossible. Because then I would disorganize this transport system of like 4 or 5 buses to take people, money to stay in Kampala, accommodation, I would not manage. So what we did, sir, was to bring the entire team to Arua. They gave us 4 people, and we want to thank public service. And then our people would come from their homes with verification. So that was done. It is on record. Everybody knows. I just don't know whether they are bringing, sir, the attendances and verifications. We did it in our hall in Arua. The hall which we had gone yesterday, that was the venue. Such that all our people can be captured and reduce on the challenges of transport and other inconveniences that we would have in Kampala. We did it here, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let's go to the 282.
Yes.
The ones that were on payroll but did not appear for validation. And these were accounted for as follows.
Yes.
You accounted for 221 employees who did not appear for the head count.
Yes.
As being new employees that have not yet accessed the payroll.
Yes.
At the time of the physical head count.
Yes.
Have they now accessed the payroll?
Yes.
Thank you, Town Clerk, and thank you, Chair. all those have accessed the payroll, and they were validated, they were physically counted by the team that came from the Ministry of Public Service.
The second team?
Yes, the second team. So they were among those partially validated, then the unverified. So they were counted among them. And all of them on the payroll.
Okay. 27 employees were confirmed to have exited the city due to death, abscondment, retirement, transfer of service, and those who were known to you, the accounting officer, but failed to appear for validation without justification. What is the fate of these ones?
Thank you, sir. That 127 is also a cocktail of different categories, which we're going to submit shortly. And I want to my HR to submit the 27, those who had died, those who had retired, so that the honorable members can appreciate the 27. It's in their cocktail form, if I may use that word, sir. Thank you, Chair. Yes, ma'am. The Chair, please. About the 27. Wait. This one. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, you submit a copy to them. Thank you. So we are giving you now the details. Yeah, you can start there. Listen.
11 had retired. 11 had retired as per the report I've just handed over. And if you look at the report, the 11 have dashes.
No money is paid.
No money was paid to them. But the Auditor General had used the payroll of February to do the physical head counting. So by the time they were doing physical head counting, these ones had retired and had already gone. So when we consulted Auditor General, they advised us not to let them come, but their time will come when pensioners will be counted. So the 11 are out of the 27. And then out of the 16 left, 7 had died. 7 had died, but their death was not reported. You know, when an officer dies, a formal report about the death of an officer is reported formally to the accounting officer, and then he refers it to human resource to effect deletion. But unfortunately, the 7, their death was not reported formally, and we couldn't delete them. So after the Auditor General issued the report, then we started tracing where these people could be, because we definitely had to account for all of them. Now, when we realized these 7 had died, we immediately went onto the system and deleted them. And we wrote letters to the estate administrators that these monies are going to be, the monies paid to them after death is going to be recovered from their gratuity and monthly pension.
You have the letters?
Yes, sir.
And we have a sample.
Let's take the letters. Chairman, can I serve water to our people?
No, please.
Sincerely, to bring thinking. Thank you, Chairman. Members, you can take some water. Don't be impatient.
With your permission, Chair, if you follow from number 1, there are some places where there are dashes. Those are the 11. Where there are no figures. Where there are no figures, those that had retired. That's why you're not seeing any figure against them on the extreme end. The total earning and extra month paid, those last 2 columns. Yes.
So if the other 6 along the way also.
Yes, and the other 6 had died. That's what I was explaining. I was giving.
So we are left with 10.
We are left with 9.
With 9.
Yes. Out of the 9, there were those who retired and went an extra month to earn salary. There were those who went an extra month to earn salary, and there were 8. We've also written letters to them that that money is going to be recovered from their monthly salary. We informed them that yes, you retired.
Monthly pension.
Monthly pension, sorry.
They got gratuity.
Yes, they got gratuity.
So they went with gratuity.
They went with gratuity, yes. But the monies which was paid to them after their retirement can be recovered from their monthly pension.
So you also have letters?
Yes, we
They are here, sir.
Those are 2 letters.
Yes,
Now
yes.
complete it and send all the letters.
Those are the 9. Those are the 8. Then there is one person who has varying date of birth. As I talk now, she's in Kampala in the Ministry of Public Service. On IPPS, she was born in 1970. Now, when she was applying for national ID, the year of birth was 1962. So to her, she had retired in 2022. Yet, when she submitted her documents for us to process her retirement, we realized she was born in 1970. So we engaged her. Because now, date of birth, we cannot do anything about it. It's the mandate of the Ministry of Public Service to change it with the terms and conditions attached. So we, in fact, after the head count, we started looking for where she was. And indeed, we continued paying her because on the system, she had not retired. So when her name appeared among those not physically counted, we had to look for how to access her. We invited her to office. She came just last week to our office. So we consulted the ministry, gave her 2 options. First, she takes herself to the ministry to see. Because when I went and engaged the ministry with documents, that this lady has retired, these are her documents, help us adjust her date of birth so that we can process her retirement benefits. The ministry said, no, but these documents are not sufficient. So I said, okay, what do I do? Maybe you first send her to us, and then we see if she is really of age. So that is the only person left now. The other 8 had earned a month or 2 after their retirement, which we are going to recover from their monthly pension. And then this particular one, we have not yet ascertained what we should do to her. This one person.
Okay. Let us now go to the 34. 34 did not appear for the head count and could not be accounted for by the accounting office. Accounting officer, the accountability is still continuing. We want you to tell us where are these people.
Yes, sir. And we are continuing to tell you, sir. Yes. The 34. 34. Is that in our figures? Yes, let's double check. The 34. Huh? 34. We are Sir, sorry, where are you seeing us checking ourselves? You're also looking at the statistics. Thank you, sir. Now, can we know the statistics? Because where is that coming from? Yes. Take us through the figure and we come down. So I would request that she again takes you through the figure we have and see where that 34 comes out. Just so that we're on the same page. Yes. Because we need to harmonize these figures so that at that side and ours. Because Marseille is one of our officers who is very, very, very articulate when it comes to payroll management, and I want to find out where that is. It there? So if you look at our document, sir, we are stopping, our document clearly stops at 27, which are okay. So if we went on page 13 of our report, of the report, sir, page 13, Auditor General's report, we come clearly, and from A up to I, see I.
You stopped at 27.
Yes, sir. And those are the figures that we have in the report.
Yeah, but let's go back.
Yes, sir.
We were talking about 282. That is where the problem starts.
You agree?
Let us agree, sir, through checking our documents here. Yes.
Yeah, because if you say 221 plus 27, you will get 248. But if you added 34, then you will come to the figure 282.
And these ones at that time were not accounted for. The 34, but we still want you to account for them. Even when you fail to account for them that time.
Because everybody counts. Everybody is my staff, Mr. Chairman. But let's be sure also, because They are looking at the figures which submitted. They are tabulating based on the figures. Because that one was not talked about. You want to find out what that is. So where is that?
And at that time, this is the explanation you gave. If I may just refresh you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
At that time, the explanation you gave was that those could have either retired. You further say that those that you cannot account for and had not appeared could have either been condiments, and that they could also be case not known to you.
To us.
Yes, but you were paying them. How would you tell us that the people you were paying were not known to you?
No, sir, these ones we will find out. We are going to drill down and dive deep to make sure we understand this. Yes, because so far we have not had an issue. Actually, sir, between my chairman and all members, and I'm impressed with Arua because I've worked around. Arua had particularly been careful on the payroll management. And through this lady, Mercy, whom I really appreciate. But if there is that disparity now that is coming up, sir, we need now to find out. Is our figure tallying or something? Madam Mercy, breathe in, breathe out, and let's see what this one happens. Then we manage the issue. If not, then we can ask for something to die, and then we give a check. Yes, and then Chair, we can certainly, because I'm confident, why you see me say confident, I know we don't have a problem, but you could now look at the figures and see if you could allow that particular area. We will see if you finish all the issues of human resource, she will step out a bit, go recollect herself and come back. So that we have all the documents that we need to solve. But she can say something.
Maybe you can ask for time from the chair so that will give you sufficient time.
But particularly for this.
Yes, for that one.
But you can say something, Mercy.
Maybe, Chair, what I would request for time is just to get the list of the 34. I should be able to get at least reason. If the 34, the list is there, I should be able to get the response, and I also submit.
So you are requesting for how much time?
30 minutes.
Only.
Okay, just to first get the list, and then I look at the list of the people.
If you have the list.
Yeah, I just needed the list, so I could.
You need the list from where? From.
No, for us we only have the numbers.
I don't see it.
Team Arua.
Yes.
This is not the first time you're seeing this report.
Yes.
And sincerely, I must should be said it. Actually, I've not seen the 34. You have interacted with our office, and you know the 34. So, you are aware of this. You deny that you are not aware of
No,
this.
we are not saying we don't know. We are trying to correct ourselves on the documentation. And the figures. That's what I say, that we need time to really get all this, dive deep and see. Otherwise, we've been accounting for everybody. I just want to understand this.
The 34 at home. Yes, she has the list. If she says she wants to pick, it's okay. She can pick.
That's why she asked. Because without the 34, you will not make to 282.
82.
You can't.
And we can account.
And besides the chairperson, I don't know if you are aware of the latest. You remember some time ago, Minister of Public Service pronounced itself of the total 6,000 who are deleted. I don't know if Town Clerk, you have accessed that report.
Not yet.
There are some names of Arua City which are in that report, which masses should be able to access.
So we can access that report?
Yes, that report was written to all accounting officers.
Okay, Mercy.
You could find that.
Mercy, you are sure 30 minutes? Please, don't cheat yourself.
I'll request for 1 hour.
1 hour.
But to be sincere, Chair, 1 hour is too short for her.
Exactly.
No, she says she has the list.
You see, Honorable, She may say it for the sake of fear, and then she takes 2, 3, 4 days. That's the trouble. But you can, this is a simple matter which, to synchronize the figures here, you could even ask for 3, 4, 5 days, then submit to clerk. You get me right? We are granting you 1 week.
Thank you, Chair, for understanding, sir.
But also, I also don't really understand. I don't know how they manage their affairs. How do you have a staff on your list that you don't know until it is discovered by audit? How do you manage your payroll? Because ideally you should have known this. You should account for your staff. First of all, you should know what is the establishment of Arua City. And then how many of these are filled, department by department. Then if because you always interface, like you go through your payroll and the rest. So if there are real staff that you can't say you don't know, you have to go and check. How do you manage your staff? Yeah.
In the stampede of transfers, migration of these entities, the district. Maybe it happens, but she should have all this.
No, but you see, Mr. Chair, these things don't happen just say like today and they were demanding for this. You have a list of staff who have been with you when you were a district, and maybe also maybe you were a municipality, but now the municipality has become what? A city, and maybe some people are moving. So just like when we were coming, there is a group that went to group, a group that went, that came here. So some of these things really, it also poses question about how do you manage your affairs. You see, even if some stuff went to another place, you should have accounted for them. So I don't know, because also the audit revealed that there were ghosts. So there were ghosts where government lost a lot of money. We need to see the ghosts the government was talking about. So I wouldn't really imagine that we should handle it.
It leads you to that confirm.
But since we say we give her time to go and get that, then let's wait.
Please, Mercy, 1 week, okay?
But next time, you should have full control over your staff. It should not only be discovered by audit query. The auditors should not come and say, hey, where are these vendors and the rest? Then that's when you should begin running around.
Okay. The human resource officer talked about the issue of the ID and the payroll. Those are inconsistencies, but I can see that 685 people had inconsistencies in their records. We want to know whether you supported these people to correct this so that they don't suffer like the way this lady is suffering now. Yes, and the worst part of it is that if someone passes on without making these corrections, the children, the family will not be able to access the benefits because of some of these inconsistencies. Yes, so we want to know whether you have supported these 685 people to correct these inconsistencies.
Thank you so much, sir, through the chairperson. Yes, sir. It is a concern. When I came in, I said 684 inconsistencies. What we found out, sir, the inconsistencies between the IPPS birth date and the NIRA birth date. Yeah. Now, the whole issue is NIRA is saying something, and remember, NIRA is a personal issue. You take yourself. Yeah. So then we said, what happened? Could it have been that NIRA team, because of the numbers of so many people, as they're inputting data, by default did that? Or because the first document we look at is the first day when you come for a job. That's the application. That's when everybody is sober, and that's the date we take. Vis-a-vis, and therefore that is what captured on IPPS. Now, vis-a-vis the NIRA date when you went there, when you were mature, because this is just the other day. So what we did, sir, we have written to all this stuff without pinning them on, because we also want to protect their privacy. We have not pinned, but we've written and communicated, and we are telling them, yes, sir, to them. And you see, because this is still, so we've written to them to come and meet with the human resource team. We have 2 people there to now quietly tell us what happened. Could it have been a mistake? Because 600 is too much to set people for. These are too many people. Could it have been an error on our colleagues in NIRA by inputting by 1 month? Because some is just a month, the other is a year. So now we are trying to invite them, and they are supposed to bring the following documents. Sir, Madam HR just informed the members the documents that we have told them to bring for this kind of clarity.
Yeah, Clerk, you have that communication?
Yes, sir, we have. Yes, sir, we are bringing it, sir. We need them to come in person so that we do not first put this on the notes boards, and we are telling one by one to come. With the, of course, their birthday, the birth certificate. Sometimes it's difficult to get it, but also now saying your first letter of appointment. When you are applying for a job, that date was right, because you are very sober when you are getting a job. Later in the ladder, we feel the job is sweet, maybe you change. But you see, this is something, yeah. This, Mr. Kram, you will sit here so that you can help us ferry the documents, come from behind you, so that we can take care of them as the honorable members just asked.
Now, at the time of the audit, it was found out that you had received the money for the road. Is it the same thing?
Sir, sorry, sir.
Let me know those entering, are they part of our Arua city, including the officer, nimeona hapa officer wa UPDF. The
Yes, sir.
estate, I do this thing in the public, and they should be informed. Alafu,
She's our clerk for our council, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. I do observe the protocol. My name is Stephen Atkins, Senior Internal Auditor.
Yes, sir. They are my team, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Hey,
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes.
My name is Ahero Dama, the Senior Legal Officer of City.
Sir, in our structure, we have a lawyer now also. Yeah. City is really ordered for a legal officer to guide me before I speak, but he's here now. I'm comfortable, sir. They have not heard you properly. Just them heard you. Hear you well.
Okay, I was saying I observed the protocol. My name is Arua. I work as Senior Environment Officer.
Yes, sir. She's our Senior Environment Officer, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Yes, now I think that we want to focus on the road fund.
Yes, sir.
And specifically, I want us to look at the roads in the city.
Yes, sir.
Now, at the time of audit, it was found out that you had received over 800 million.
Yes, sir.
For the roads.
Yes.
But the Auditor General took a step to inspect some of the roads. And some of the roads that were inspected, for example, include Odorama Chapo,
yes, sir.
Lokira Godo Road. And then we have Kiberi Diako. Kebiri Diako Road.
Yes.
Now, these roads and many others were found bushy. They had no culverts, and generally the work was not impressive. We want to hear from you whether these roads were completed as required.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, I will give a small synopsis. I hand over to my engineer with your permission. Now, it is true, sir, these roads were done, graded, but they are Maram roads, sir. And therefore, grass, unfortunately, because we had a lot of rain that time, grass came through. But what have we done going forward to protect our roads, sir? Because that is critical to us. We start council approved because when we presented this issue that we do roads, and 1 month, 2, 3, 4 months, grass comes through. How do we maintain? So we had budgeted to purchase 11 mowers because now the road gangs sometimes have a problem slashing. We have improved as Arua City. We have gone ahead to purchase 11 mowers, which we have commissioned. We have trained a team of our road gangs to upgrade from slashing to using road mowers, which will take a short time and make sure our road is accessible. And the grass that has grown goes down, sir. That evidence, sir, we are going to show you, but I will invite my engineer to add value to what our honorable member is asking. Please, Engineer Mona.
Thank you very much, Clark, for giving me the opportunity, and thank you very much, Chair. There are three issues raised. One is about whether the roads were completed as required. The roads were completed and we have reports here for quarter 1, 3, 4, which we can handle. Number 2, on the bushy roads, yes, we acknowledge that the roads were bushy and we've taken measures to have them more. But maybe, Chair, allow me to say, Arua City has over 400 kilometers of the road network.
400 kilometers.
And we have only 50 road gangs to do the 500 kilometers of road. So it may not be surprising that the road gets bushy because of the limited number of the manual workers we have. So what have we done? We've recruited additional road gangs, totaling now to 100 road gangs.
Road gangs.
Then number 2, we procured over 10 mowing machines that would use a few road gangs to be able to do the slashing. And the output is at least one machine will do a work equivalent of 6 road gangs. Yes. So having 10 is another equivalent of 100. So that's the strategy we have. We've assembled this and there's a report that attests to the mowing machines work. Number 2, you talked about no code canvas were installed. Yes, as per the scope, there were no provision in the work plan and budget for canvas. Why? Because the resources that we had as per the IPM was too small to accommodate the canvas installation. So what we had to do is to prioritize routine manual maintenance using the road gangs and do a few mechanized maintenance work by simply doing the grading where we do shaping of the road to create the camber so that water drops at the side of the road and creating drainage at the sides of the road. So the canvas was not part of the scope, so we could not install because the resources are not there. So those are what I wanted to submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairperson.
Okay. Now, the land titles. You had over 75 pieces of land that are not titled. And once you continue having these pieces of land when they are not titled, it means people can claim them. We want you to tell us about the status of titling the land that belongs to the city.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairperson. We are going to submit, sir, what we have done, but we are grateful to government to have our city land board. Prior to that, we used to use the district land board. Now we have a city land board. I think, sir, that is a bonus to us to quickly process our titles. Number 2, you've talked about the 75, sir, you are right. And I'm still happy, Arua has not experienced, and I want to say this, sir, land grabbing or having these problems, which elsewhere. I need really for you people to clap for yourselves here. Because I have experienced situations where school land can go, which is still intact. But what are we doing, Mr. Chairman? So what we are doing, number 1, we have primary schools, the 23. We have submitted 13 copies are in process, and the 43 not yet. But we have agreed with the city land board chairman that, look, even if we don't have money for now, let's have these titles. Because now we have a city land board. We are not now crying, because those are the reasons we cried for a city land board to be with us. Sir, I want to submit this report that shows everything, the location, the plot number, street name, registration, and the remarks, which shows you the trend of what we are doing in the title. With your permission, sir. And some of the titles, sir, and some of these things are all here on what we are doing in summary for everything. Kindly submit, Mr. Kwa, to the team about the land issues.
Now, I am just going back a little bit on revenue.
Yes, sir.
Because you said the revenue is the
lifeline.
The lifeline,
yes,
of the city.
Yes, sir.
And I have remembered that you have an idle market that is not being utilized. Let's talk about it.
The central market, sir. Thank you, sir. Through the chairman, sir. I just submitted to you earlier, sir, that that was the story then. The story has changed, sir, through the chairman. Arua market, and these are issues we are all invited, and I don't want to mention cities that I'm not managing. But let me talk for Arua alone. So Arua city, it is not idle anymore. The council, through you, sir, we submitted a report on the local revenue as a good story. We have collected 983 million. Sir, it is not idle at all. To collect money from vendors that tune in a year, I'm showing you that, yes, before, we had to organize ourselves. What did we do? We had to mobilize the vendors. Because all markets, we have had issues, these multiple markets. But the story, sir, has changed for Arua. We are collecting to a tune of 70 million, 20 million a month from these vendors, sir. And the report I've just submitted to show you the trend that now the market for us has become a source, an asset of revenue. It's not a liability, although, of course, there are challenges like the power is quite challenging to pay, water, managing garbage and all these things, and those are other issues. But in terms of revenue and making it a viable project, so we're 900 million. If you would...
Are you comfortable with the 900 or you think we can get more?
No, our focus now, sir, is can we push? But I see as you push, we are trying to make sure the market is full to capacity to increase the revenue. As you are aware, sir, some upper levels had issues. We are managing to bring everybody in the market. And if you had in the news just 2 months ago, sir, we on paper everywhere for mobilizing and the trading out of the city, where we are pushing everybody back in the market. It is on record, sir. And why it has now generated money. So
let's understand.
Yes, sir.
And for me, that's what I picked from you. You are so cunning in the way you sound. And if somebody is not keen enough, you can easily make, you know. Let's understand, what was the problem?
Like all markets, the problem was simple. When we relocated people, and now that you have allowed me, let me speak what was happening to the markets. Across all the markets, when we resettled people in this market, so many statements were made, some we are aware, some markets really could not even function. Some, we had the challenges of people paying. You remember, I don't want to go back to those who spoke. It is so.
I'm asking for Arua.
Arua, that's where I am because
the issues of market, I can tell you better than you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
But all of multiple markets, sir, we faced the similar problem. So we had issues of the vendors not getting in the market. They had moved out of the market. And for Arua case, we have an alternative market. Is that Lobida? Which market is where people had gone? Lobida market. Where it was a relocation site before the market was constructed. People were relocated to Lobida, part of Lobida. Now bringing them back was a challenge. Some got stuck there. Number two, payment was a problem. Because at first they were thinking, this is our thing, why would we pay? And therefore, and I want to thank the council, a lot of engagements were carried out. One, to make sure that this market has people inside, because this was a project to not become a white elephant. So it was a huge operation. We carried out a huge operation because the market up there was empty. And then, of course, sensitizing the community to understand that when you pay money, we can pay for electricity, we can pay for water, we can pay for garbage collection. And now, zoning the market was another issue. To make sure that people can sit where. These are very, very big operational issues. Sometimes they created a lot of terrible stories, but I wanted to more also speak about the success now, because those may not help us going forward. What is now happening, sir, there is also value addition in Awindiri, and it is operation. So people have started saying, these are all issues now we say, because when we say the problem was this, but how have we overcome the problems of Mati? Today people are paying. And sir, those figures which I showed you are figures that are real. They are figures that can be traced to all books. The market is viable. And we've been called around to show what has Arua done. Because why have we changed this? And it's a real story. The figures are there, 983 million.
This is why I've asked those questions. The challenge has been sometimes the technocrats. You have said rightly that people were taken to lobby that. And that is the story for all the matic markets. The idea was that when the construction was started, most of these vendors were registered. They were registered and they sent to where they can occupy spaces temporarily. But the challenge has been that once these markets were finished, during the allocation, many of the staffs, in some districts you find one staff only around 15 stores, now renting it out. That has been the challenge, including Arua. We have been doing oversight as a committee on public service and local government. Actually, when these matic markets were built, I was the chairperson of that committee for 7 years. And most of these challenges we know. We have been doing oversight in Bale, Balara, Soroti, Kabal, so we know. Many of the challenges are managerial, created by you, the staff. You registered the people, you told them, okay, we're going to construct this market, let's relocate you. Ideally, when these markets were completed, when you are settling people, you should have followed the list of people you registered. At the end of the day, you disregarded all these people. People started bringing their relatives who are not the vendors. So this has been the challenge. And you find staff owning like 20 stalls, sub-renting. So if you want, you come to me. So these are the challenges. So,
okay.
So now, I wanted to know what have you done, because like the figure you have given here is 900. But when you compare 900 to now markets which are organized, this is very, very, very little market. Because I know the capacity of Arua, I know the market size, and I know the number of vendors. So I think first of all, that confusion of allocation, I don't know whether people have handled it. Then two also, the issue of enforcement of zoning. Why some people have failed to occupy some of these stores. Ideally, if the first floor is for, let's say, produce, let produce be in the lower level. If the second floor is, let's say, for vegetables, let it be for vegetables. If the third one is for, say, clothes. But what happens in some of these cases, the zoning is not enforced. People sell where they want. There's confusion. So because others feel if they go up, customers will not come. They scramble for the what? For the lower one. But the solution is organization. You organize it and you zone it. Then you enforce it. So that has been the challenge.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Maybe before you will come to that, I just want to have a small rejoinder to what my colleague here has said. The city clerk has ably talked about the reorganization and what have you. But what I would like to find out is one, whether they have the original list and whether it is corresponding to the current list of allocation. Because if we do not have the original list, I think the issues of Arua, we have all been aware about it. It has been a public issue. So to correct that situation, we will request that they give us the original list before the construction of the market, and then the list which now came after the construction. Because those people who surrendered their businesses, they did it in good faith. But just as my colleague said, when now the issue of reallocation after the completion started, that's where many people were pushed out. And if it is supposed to have, if we are supposed to have a public hearing, you will find out that there are so many people who are crying, there are so many people who cried, there are so many people who got stressed because of that kind of allocation. So I think they will produce for us the original list before registration, which can be liable for public verification also, and then the list which is for the current allocation.
And I'm happy I've been there since 2013, since my tip started. And therefore, I can ably answer some of these issues, sir. Yes, whatever the honorable members have said, those are some of the ghosts that have bedeviled us for a long time. Those are the challenges. And relocation, some markets not having the real vendors, to the case that the president had it right and say, if you're a non-name vendor, you have no business in the market. There are those letters. So this has been a long story. From 2013 to this, we've gone through phases. And what has Arua done since the market was open in 2020? We see, Matip 1, we learned a lot of lessons from Matip 1, because that was the first phase, sir. Then Matip 2, the 11 markets, we also now wanted to make sure what were the problems with Matip 1, not to go into Matip 2. And for Arua, sir, of course, we have had a lot of investigations, sir, in this market. The ministers have come here. A lot has been talking about this market. And for officers, we are investigated. And by grace of God, they are found innocent. Because some of these issues, sir, are suspicions. Some of these issues is what it is. But the original case, of course, even then, like for example in Arua, almost 2 layers of the people we are supposed to have had abandoned the market not to come. And remember, there was now a directive which has been moving across. If you are not found in your space, the person, or if you've been owning this and you are not there, the vendor who's active will take the place. And I think that is what has been moving around to make sure the markets are occupied. So to do that and to bring out all those and finish, we constituted a committee, which is actually chaired by my production officer and team, to go and re-verify, because the council needed that, to make sure there are no ghosts and there are no problems. And sir, and I think because you've been very transparent in that environment, and he's here to speak for himself, sir, that's why you're seeing that compliance level. This, to get money from a market at that tune across Uganda, and I'm here, I need to know how others are performing. It's not easy. So I think because of our transparency, sir, and that's not being cunning and being very clear, we've done a lot to mitigate. We've mitigated, Chairman. Some of us, we've used all our experience we've had to make sure that Arua now performs. Much of what is being spoken, sir, those are the challenges we have tried to unroot.
You are saying some of these problems they are stories of 2013. Soroti was built before Arua. But last week, the Committee on Public Service, now chaired by Honorable Jara, had to go and sort out still the allocation allocation issues. Yes. They are still there. And Barara was just the other day. So those challenges still exist. So when we say there's a problem, we have evidence.
Yes, I know, sir.
Some of us do, you may talk about Arua, but we do a comparative assessment of most of these all over the country. Yes. So we know where the challenge is. But sometimes you see, sometimes when we come here, it's not only about, we have not come to pin you. But sometimes we also provide corrective measures. Yes. So it may not be right always to be defensive. That's why I'm saying, when I say a rural market, only 900, why? This one may not speak to the words you explain. Compared to, like, for example, the Soroti market, it was constructed at a cost of 14 billion. But Arua is 28 billion. You get it? So now when it comes to collection, if a market of 14 billion is doing much better than a market constructed at a cost of 28 billion, that's where the question comes. Kaulo, Lugazi, yes, that was built at a cost of 9 billion with fewer stalls than Arua. If they are raising like 1.8, Arua of 28 is at 900. Can you ask questions? Yeah, sure. Yes. So sometimes when we speak, it's not just for the sake of maybe pinning you or what.
No.
But we are saying, yes, you are doing much,
yes,
but please do more.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, because at the end of the day, all this money you collect, much as there's been single treasury system put by government, but still, you are supposed to request for your money you collect, which is still sent back to you. So when there are loopholes and you don't correct this will affect you. And Arua is among the cities that has been having challenges in terms of collection of garbage, work. It has a lot of challenges. Okay.
It's working.
When I'm going to Yumbe, I go through Arua. When I come from Yumbe, I come through what? Through Arua. And sometimes I sleep here. So the issues of Arua, I talk them from a knowledge point of view, not hearsay.
Thank you. So we take everything and we will continue to be the best we can be in this market.
Yeah,
thank you
you
very much.
can, like Honorable said, benchmark with the Kaoro Gazette, possible also Soroti, Mbale. I am aware all these have their own dynamics, and maybe the purchase power, the trading power, and the prowess. In the central may not be like here in West Nile, but of course we have a lot of also cross-border trade, and the people would prefer houses and whatever. You bring out all that. But it's good advice from Honorable who has very good knowledge about this. Clark, you say the production officer chairs that committee, and can we have evidence of that committee that it exists?
Yes.
And do you have anything to say, sir? Production.
Verification of the existing vendors in the market, where we are being, actually it's an ongoing activity. Yeah. The greatest challenge that we noticed was on the top part. Yes, which was meant by the vendors handling cloth. Yeah. These guys had moved to Lobida and Owino market. And what we found out was that those guys which had moved, many of them had locations in these places. And if you went there, the time we went, we would see labels, somebody labeling their name and telephone numbers. So that was an indication that they had their space there. Now, enforcement was done. If you had come a little earlier, maybe 3-4 months ago, as you approach the market, you would even see vendors along the streets. Now, when they did the enforcement, a number of them entered the market, but a few again also joined the other people. So this is a continuous process. I have a letter here appointing somebody as assessed it, appointing the members of the committee, which are supposed to continue doing this. We have not stopped. It's a continuous process. This is what I can say, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I wish you have those names, the original vendors.
I may not have them now, but I think we can access them.
You can get them.
Yes.
I think, can we give you 1 week to submit the same?
But that's okay.
Please.
So you will submit both 2 sets.
Okay.
The ones that were there originally and the ones that are there now.
Would you like to see the letter of appointment?
No, you bring it
Yeah.
in the space of time.
Thank you.
Okay. We are now left with 2 issues.
Yes.
PDM. But I want first to go to a bridge. There is a bridge called the Pajuru. Is it in your Pajuru? Is it in your city?
It's in the district, sir. It's in our city, yes.
It is in your city?
Yes, sir. But it's being handled by the district, because at that time it was the district, sir, before.
Ah. So I keep my question for the district.
Yes,
Don't warn them.
Yes, but engineer, now that the bridge is in your city, we want that bridge to be in good shape. Please go there, look at it, and begin seriously planning for that bridge. I have kept the question for your colleague.
Yes, sir.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
What you're submitting is very true. I think we'll take on that question about this. We understand this very well. The money was given to Arua, so the implementation still has remained in Arua. But the bridge is in the city.
Now, lastly, accounting officer, we go to PDM.
Yes, sir.
Now, we want you to tell us how you have been able to align the city budget and work plan to PDM interventions.
Chairman, sir. With your permission, sir, I am inviting first my head of production to give some background, and then I will go to the focal person. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chairperson, for this opportunity. We have in production department, we have a specific grant under agriculture extension, which comes to the city and also other local government. This money we have prioritized for PDM activities. Then also there are some specific money that we have been receiving, specific for the PDCs in the 54 wards. This money is also budgeted and included in our budget. Okay. Then there is also another one which has recently now come. That one goes directly to the circles for helping them in paying for their allowances. And this one goes to the circle leaders. So now the money that goes directly to the circles, now we have the following. Because originally, the circle leaders didn't have any facilitation at all, and yet they have a lot of things, and there was a lot of noise being made down there and at different levels of implementation of PDM. Now we thank government because they reconsider this, but that money now goes directly to the circles accounts, yeah, using Wendy account, and the money is very useful now because there was issues of where do we get money for photocopying and the rest of it. That one has been settled now. Now there is that money I said for PDC for the 54 circles. Now when we receive this money, we disburse them to the division. This to ease our accountability. We send to the 3 divisions. If division has 48 circles, they get a little more money of about 12 million. Then Central Division has 6 circles, they get about 1.5 per quarter. So each quarter when we get this money, we just disburse and it's requested from there. Now additional task has been added this financial year, where the money which used to be paid to the parish chief, for our case the town agents, they used to send to them directly to their account. This money is now budgeted for at the city level, yeah, and we shall be responsible. I think this is better because we, as a city, we supervise them. And now when money is coming directly from the Senate to their account, it is very difficult to say this one has done well. Yes. So this is the kind of integration that we have. We have them in our budget, and we manage them by transferring to them.
So tell us about the structures, the PDM structures, these circles. How are they, the circle leaders, how are they performing?
Thank you, Chairperson. May I request to stand? Please. I have some. Yes. PDM. Down there we have the enterprise groups, which form the circles. The different enterprise groups form the circles. In a particular circle, you can find they have 10 or so enterprise groups. And in every particular enterprise group, there's a minimum of 10, a minimum of 10 members in each enterprise group. Now, then at every circle, we have the PDCs. Yeah? PDCs are there in every circle. These do the roles of supervision. Yeah? Then we have also the circle leaders, every circles. And these people are there to help every circles or enterprise group generate their interest, process their loan, give their loan to them, and ensure they monitor the utilization of the funds in terms of procuring the items they need. Now, for us in Arua, having 2 divisions, we have a PDM focal person at each of those divisions. Then at the city, we have the overall PDM focal person. And again, we have at the city, we have the core team composed of different sectors, the pillar heads. These are the structure we talk about in Arua City. For me, as the production coordinator, I had pillar number 1, the production pillar, production marketing pillar. These are the structure we have. Now, in terms of accessing funding, after the generation of the beneficiaries, and after inputting all their information in the system, the PIDMIS and then the FIS system, for us, we have remained to have control over the money that goes, and also to have control about who receives money. The verification was conducted for all the applications. Yeah? Then every beneficiary was registered in a template, copy. Now a verification was done in conjunction with our office and also with the office of the OWC, where every circle was visited. And the community members, including the beneficiaries, the intended beneficiaries, converged for a meeting. Now, how the verification took place was, you pick a sheet of the list of the beneficiaries for every enterprise group. The names are read. Ayo, then people say, we know him. Margaret is not there, but we know that at the end of it all, the LC1, a member of the PDC, the OWC coordinator, endorses those forms that these are the right ones. And now when the loan is processed, we refer to those lists. When we are doing validation now of the generated list to receive money. This one we do at our offices. It is majorly done by the focal person of PDM. They endorse this, then this is taken to the bank, and we generate a letter with TC's signature saying, we have validated this, we verified this, please let them access money. And money is sent to their Wendy, their Wendy account. But for now, they have information about the money in their funds. But after the verification, the bank now allow them access money. This is how the structure is working.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. I think I want any of my colleagues, maybe if they have an additional question.
I just want to, I was looking through this document on page 8, that is the appendix 3. I just wanted a brief explanation. That is the utilization of wage budget.
Page 8.
page it inside, but it is the appendix.
Maybe PM, you can take your seat.
Appendix 3. Here we have an unspent balance of 8 billion of wages. When you look at the employment structure of some of these districts, including this city, you will find that there are a number of areas which are not being filled. But also there are cases where sometimes you find when you interact with the retirees, many retirees cry that they are not paid their pension and the rest. Now when you see huge amount, because also many times the local governments complain that government gives them little money for such delivery. But now at the end of the day, a lot of money in the return to the consolidated fund. It doesn't make any sense because their such delivery will be a challenge. So I want some explanation on why you were able to return 8 billion money meant for wages. What happened? I need that explanation, but also you need to reconcile. When you look at page 1, that is appendix 1, that's local revenue performance. Here you are saying you approved budget was 5.3 billion. The actual collection was 5.6 billion. But yet here you are presenting a variation of 301. That seems to be a contradiction to me. If you also go to the same revenue performance, that is page 3. In your statement, page 3, when you also look at approved budget, which is 5.3, the actual collection is 4.4 billion. Then a variation is 947. So these seem to be contradictions in your documentation. So can I get some bit of explanation, starting with why you returned the 8.5 billion, and which category of staff missed out on this? Was it meant for recruitment, or is it gratuity, is it pension? So I wanted that explanation.
Clark? Yeah, thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you. I am going to invite my HR to give that background, but I know that was money meant for recruitment for the financial year, and unfortunately that money came on 14th June 2022 when you're closing a financial year, and it is, you cannot, sir, Chairman, at 14th June when the systems are switching off from 20th, you cannot do anything within to spend that money. The best was to take it back because it came late, and we had requested for it in July, and you know, we have no control. God is good, they brought it in 14th June. So those are some of the things that...
I only pray that your explanation speaks to the facts. Because you see, sometimes we interface with you. There are also issues that we think are challenges of the center. So we also motivate.
Yes.
After here, we also go and what?
And
interface with them.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I'm saying whatever you are telling us, will
Yes.
be.
Yes, sir.
And we also have a staff here from Office of the Accountant General.
Yes.
She's here with us.
Yes, no problem.
So whatever you say, must be there.
Thank you, sir. These are facts, sir, because if I receive billion on 14th June, which was well intended for me to service the entire year for the recruit, I cannot touch it, sir. I can only go back. But let me invite my human resource to give some information, and then the finance can also add some value. Thank you, sir, with your permission.
Is it still continuing?
HR.
Thank you, Chair. The 8.5 billion that went back was meant for wage for the newly recruited employees. Unfortunately, the process of recruitment took some time, and we couldn't now utilize it because that money was meant for a whole financial year. It wasn't meant for a particular month. So we couldn't. The recruitment took time, and we recruited in May. And the people we accessed only for 1 month in June. So that's how the money went back. It was strictly for wage. The newly recruited employees.
I didn't recruit. Which area? Teachers, nurses?
Yes, we had categories of employees. We recruited 189 primary teachers. We also recruited some in health department and in all departments across. We had massive recruitment last financial year. So that money was meant for wage, not pensions. At least pensions and gratuity utilized all, and we don't have cases of challenges of pensions.
So you had carried the recruitment around June? I mean, around
Okay, we started a process on 19th of December by advertising, and then we gave 1 month for the advert. It ended on 19th of January. Then shortlisting started, and we received really very many applicants. So the process took quite some time. So receiving minutes from Service Commission was around in April and May. Then we started issuing of appointment letters. So around June 1st is when we accessed the newly recruited, and we couldn't utilize all the money.
What about as of now?
As of now,
Because you're saying all of the money came out today.
Yes.
I mean, by the time you finish the process, putting them on payroll was a challenge.
no, there was no challenge putting them on the payroll. But
So what I'm trying to understand, because what I think from you is, as you followed the process of recruitment,
yes, sir.
by around May, before you could utilize the money, it went back.
The money went back in June.
Yes.
It went back in June.
Auditor, so in other words, what for me I want the clarification I want to send back to you.
At least we wait now in the subsequent financial year. They gave us what, because now the Auditor General report informed the allocation for wage for last financial year. So for us, we don't.
As of now, everything is settled.
Everything
Yes,
is okay.
Yes,
exactly. We don't have any problem with wage.
So let's go to these variations of.
It was just she was failing to say that, yes, by the time we performed, executed the special audit, the recruitment was on. When the minister said that no recruitment at this time, there was that bad. So they halted it. And I remember interacting with the town clerk then. He said that, okay, I had done this, but I had even reached a level of issuing appointment letters. I will halt everything, and all this stuff will come on the payroll of 1st July. That's what she was failing to do.
You see why we are concerned is we know there are a lot of very many districts that are operating below 100%. I mean below 60 in terms of human capital. So if you have available wage bill like this, and for it to go back, and yet you have a lot of gaps, that affects service delivery. If it is teachers, you will find it in some schools. In some of the rural areas, you find in a whole school there are only 6 or 7 teachers. So that's the challenge, that's our concern. But anyway, it has been clarified. So these variations here, how? The one of local revenue. These figures which are not speaking to themselves.
Maybe we need to do the explanation for that.
Auditor?
Thank you. How captured the older appendices. I remember we had an engagement with the team. There was an issue with the financial statements earlier, but they rectified it. The earlier position stated is the one we are going with. Yes. Not this one.
My colleague of PDM, my groups, I want you to help them. There are 2 issues that I forgot to ask you. One of them is on whether they have been registered by UMRA. You see, they are now financial institutions at that level. And you are aware that they are supposed to be registered. So confirm to us that you supported them to register.
Thank you. They have not yet been registered. One issue was, I think there was inadequate guidance, okay? And I remember The local governments raised a lot of issues on this, on the guidance. I remember that again there was a letter written by the Registrar of Cooperative explaining that those guys were still under probation and they were operating legally. I think it was around January this year. And the letter should be somewhere. Yes, that's where
You give us the updates now.
No, they have not yet been registered.
Okay.
Yeah. But that time, because there were a lot of issues being raised about their registration, which we felt was important, now the Registrar of Cooperative then wrote to all local governments saying for now there's nothing to worry because these guys are still operating legally.
Okay.
Mentioning that they are still under probational period.
Okay.
Yes. That was
so you have a copy of that letter?
I think so. The copy should be somewhere. Can we get the copy of that letter?
This one?
There's somewhere. It should be here. I can access it here.
Yeah, please do. Do.
PDM.
Take this.
Someone could help you to bring that.
Yes, Mr. Kram, please.
It was also discovered that 5.4 billion had been sent to SACCOs without signed agreements.
The agreements were signed.
You signed them?
Agreements were signed.
We will want evidence to that.
It's in the same thing. Can you open? Within the same area.
Okay. The last one from my side as I hand over to my chair. Tell us about the insurance issue with these PDM SACCOs.
Thank you. Insurance is not yet happening.
Why?
Yeah. Early on, we didn't have good guidance or any guidance about the insurance. But now I can proudly say we have been guided.
Okay.
It was around May that we had a Zoom meeting where they told us what to do.
Okay.
Currently what we are doing now, sensitizing the community or our beneficiaries about issues on the insurance. Yes, that's where we are now. But nobody has still accessed any insurance.
Okay.
We hope they will pick it up and get it.
Okay, I think Cow.
Yes, sir.
Accounting officer. I am now listening to Cow.
I'm the city town clerk, sir.
Yes, city town clerk.
Yes,
we
sir.
will want you really to help government.
Yes, sir.
Take a lot of interest in PDM.
Yes.
It's where all our hopes are. We think that PDM is going to transform this country, and you are one of the foot soldiers of government in the city.
Yes.
Kindly make sure that you really ensure that PDM is implemented to the dot. I am very sure that the next audits, this one we have not concentrated more on PDM, but that we are trying to go there. But the next audits, our eyes will be on PDM. We can leave other things, but we will concentrate on PDM. So be prepared. Back to you, Chair, and your team.
Thank you, Chair and members. Chair, I couldn't speak because I know a number of these people. Actually, I know all the people who have been attending all the districts, apart from some, maybe. But the main people are mine. Others are my OBs, relatives, so they cut across the region. Chair, Arua is the face of this region. And we are really very happy of what the town clerk has done with his team for now. The revenue itself it appears low, but it has actually improved. We just need them to do more. We need them to do more. There is now sanity actually in this city. Before it was full of garbage. It is we can see it is fairly organized. It's actually organized for us here. Yes. So we just need them to do more. We need to know where we are and where we want to go. And that will really be a good thing for us. So for town clerk, there are still a number of issues which have been pointed here. Even the management report, which are not in what we are discussing. I think you and your team will take them up and fill the gaps. Yes, organize the team very well. Because we don't generate revenue, then we are at a loss. Initially here, we are the car parking, they will pick money and 1,000 from people. But now it is digital. Yes. Actually, they could tell us where we were last year and where we are now. The revenue definitely has increased. So they need to do that across all the revenue items. And we shall be somewhere. Thank you very much. Thank you for the guidance.
A good beginning usually also is supposed to be a good ending. Clerk, we want to thank you. The guidance the honorable members have given, take it seriously. Parking here is now digital. You go to Mbale, my city, it's still money. That is it. Somebody had an adage, how rich is a rich man? Now, we want to know, the Arua I visited about first 20 years ago, I can see with my own eyes that there is a lot of improvement. To the extent, in Kampala, in Mbale, you are on the zebra crossing and the border will stop for you. No, I got surprised. Yes, that was in the border. And somebody, some children were crossing and all borders, either side, stopped, including vehicles. That's very good of you, and we appreciate. Please forgive us if we rubbed you wrongly. I saw you getting a bit itchy about the word canning. Please forgive us. Forgive us for that. There are cases when these things come up, when we want to probe.
Please. I know my friend there very well. In the West, in Fort Porto.
Yes.
Yes, we met. In that time when you were on the other side, yes, we met. Yes. So sometimes we know each other.
Take it. To push it. No, I've known you. Yes. One, I've been with you for some good time. Yes. I know how vivacious you are, and your character I do understand very well. My background as a teacher, I understand the psychology of many more people. I wish to say, do I have any political head here?
Yes, sir. Our mayor, sir, which I can stand as
why did you allow mayor to sit on your side? That's very good. You have just entered our worship. Please. Your worship. Please, we want to appreciate and the efforts you have put in. All of us were granted city status with me in Mbale and here almost at the same time. Yeah, but I can see a lot of improvement. I worship the mayor. Please, on that note, may I request that in 1 minute you make a remark and then we will wish you very good lunch, which we will not provide.
Honorable Chair and the committee, the technical staff with whom you have come, the Chief Administrative Officer and all technical officers you have come with. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wadri Sam Nyakwa. By God's grace, I'm the mayor of Arua City. Honorable Chair, I'm sorry I stepped in a bit late. I had other lengthy engagements, but which could not allow me to come timely, but all the same I am here. I want to thank you and your team for coming down to the field and look at what we are doing. You give us strength. When you do that, you give us strength. You give us energy. You encourage us to correct areas where there are weaknesses, to improve on areas which are good and even do them better. When I entered here, I found you were laughing. Previously, Public Accounts Committee, when they visit, they are a torture chamber. Some people go out when their pressures have gone too high up. There are even people who died. I was wondering, is this the usual PAC that oh, this is a different thing. But I think there is, along the way, there's a lot of improvement, there's professionalism. As a person, I want to appreciate. I've been chairman of Arua District Local Government for 10 years. The Honorable Ituka, I've seen him here, so there are a number who are here. But the picture I have just seen when I have entered is different. So I want to appreciate you. I will not speak a lot. I will not speak a lot. The Honorable Joel is here. The Honorable Onjima was my coachmate. We used to look at them like this in the NTC. But in him, I saw leadership.
Yes.
So today he's there, I'm here, but God will. So, Honorable Chair, I want to appreciate you. I don't have much to say. I want to appreciate you for the manner in which you are conducting this business, and I want to appreciate all the efforts that you are making to push us local governments to the levels that Ugandans are looking for. I should not go on and on. If you come late, you're given an opportunity to greet people and you take a lot of time. It is bad manners. I beg that I stop here. When you stay here, find time, move around Arua town, Arua city. Arua city is a busy city from Monday to Monday. We have one of the best honeys.
Honey, yes.
Honey, best one. You cannot find it anywhere else, you find it here. We also have first-class kitenge that we get from our neighbors. Maybe, Mr. Honorable Chairman, and you could acquire a role or two for accountability when you reach back home. So that really you were in Arua. Let me stop here. I say all this for God and my God.
May I want to thank you so much. Very cool. May I wish you the best and the best of lunch today. I already said we can't provide it, but please, thank you so much. Thank you.